For him, it was create water. It's a first level spell. It's like, oh look, you get potable water in a desert. You could. He's like, what if I create it inside someone's lungs? I'm like, oh, okay. Hail, Internet! It's Paul, it's Matt, the Dork Lords. We are here talking about What If, Season 1, Episode 3, What If the World Lost Its Mightiest Heroes? So, we open with Nick Fury saying the line, there was an idea, before he gets cut off by Natasha. And they're meeting with Tony Stark in the scene from Iron Man 2, when Tony's sitting in the giant donut sculpture. And as in the movie, Natasha gives Tony a shot to counteract his palladium poisoning. But unlike the movie, here, he dies. Shock. Whoa. We end with most of the Phase 1 Avengers dead. Loki is now ruling Earth by force, and he gives his, that you were meant to be ruled speech. And Nick Fury has Captain America and Captain Marvel as his two captains. But yes, he doesn't have Thor, Hawkeye, Black Widow, or Iron Man. I believe those are the four we lose in this. And Hulk, of course. So what did you think of the episode, good sir, before we jump on to other stuff?
I mean, I liked it. It runs into the trouble of constraints of time, and for something as drastic as this, you kind of lose, you're just going to lose nuance. So, you certainly, one of the things that's, about Hank Pym in the comics is that he's had a very violent history, troubled history. So, they've kind of hinted at that with a violent temper in the movies.
Right. Yep.
You didn't see any questions of abuse going on, and you didn't see any questions of identity like that happened in the comics. So here they're sort of, bringing that more to the forefront.
You tell me if it's in the comics too, but in the MCU, there's this implication, maybe even stated, that, the longer you use the Pym particles, the crazier you get, kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. There's he was infected, or it infected his mind. Yes. Yeah. With something like this, you really had to focus on who the main character is, and I guess that would be Nick Fury, even though, other than him wanting to create this team, which what he wanted to do in the movies as well. You don't really, it's not very, a deep story, especially, it depends a lot on the who done it, which it's okay, but some people speculated about how this one story might hook up with the others, and it'd be interesting, I guess, if it does. One thing that people were sort of pulling out is the trailers that have a different Avengers lineup.
Right.
But that Avengers lineup that they showed still had Thor in it. So
right.
I kind of feel like...
Well, we've got shots of like party Thor. There's some version of him as like, hey.
Yeah, but this is dead Thor.
This is dead Thor.
Well,
also,
and I wanted to
Captain
say,
America exists in this.
Yes.
Right?
I'm just saying that, I don't think Captain America was in that alternate
Correct.
Avengers lineup. So, I don't think this relates in that way. Of course it could come back in a different way, but one thing though I wanted to call out, which I don't know, I feel like it shouldn't be so easy to kill Thor. Okay,
that's a good point. A single arrow to the heart. Yeah, I've thought about that too at the time, and my rationale, and I could be wrong, but my rationale was, well, in Thor he was kind of cast out. So the whole reason he was trying to grab the hammer was he wasn't worthy, so he hadn't, taken on the mantle, and so maybe he was more, vulnerable, more mortal than he becomes when he becomes worthy of Mjolnir.
I guess, but this is the other end that I'm kind of getting trapped in. I really don't care about a lot of things that people who like comics are like, who could beat who or whatever. It's whoever the writer wants to win. And the writer wanted Thor to die. So there you go. Thor died. Hulk died.
This was a dark episode, for sure.
Yeah,
and Hulk's death is like straight out of a horror movie. I mean,
I really body horror there, yeah.
He bursts.
Yeah.
When we see, like, Hank Pym gets revealed, he's like, I did all the killings because out of revenge. Yes. And we see him inside Hulk's body, like, heading toward his heart. So I think the idea is he enlarged his heart, and then it made him pump more blood, which made him rage out more until he burst from the inside. I don't know. I'm just trying to think of the mechanics of it.
I know,
Plus,
but I don't know. He injected a plot point into his heart.
I have defeated your plot armor. Now you are defenseless. But that blood, I mean, that radiant, one drop of it in a soda bottle bothered Stan Lee. So you imagine a river of it.
Yeah. If I was writing this story, I might decide that someone takes the remnants of Hulk and he coalesces still. I like the idea that, you really can't do anything to kill this guy. It's like, I like the fact that he would reconstitute eventually.
Bruce says, like, seconds before dying, it's like, well, I can't be killed.
Yeah.
But I'd like to see someone oh, crap. Oh, now I'm dead. But, so now with all that, it's like an EPA Superfund site now at that school. They're like, we can't come near this place. So in this reality, Hope Van Dyne joined S.H.I.E.L.D., whether she probably recruited, I don't know, but anyway, she joined S.H.I.E.L.D. for some reason, and it sounds like Hank Pym was like, don't join S.H.I.E.L.D., but she did against his wishes, and she gets killed on the mission.
People have speculated, too, that she was killed by the Winter Soldier.
Yeah, I think there's a reasonable interpretation for that. I've seen that online, and the reason is because
Black Widow talked about being with an asset that was killed by the Winter Soldier, and she just barely survived.
And that was in Odessa, Ukraine, which is exactly this. They mention it. Why even mention it if you're not going to have a link? It's like, she died on a mission in Odessa, Ukraine. Look that up. Oh, look. And so that's where, Black Widow's got the scar because she got shot through and through.
Right.
And that's what, Winter Soldier shot through.
That's what ruins all her bikinis.
Correct. And so we can imagine that in this reality, Hope Van Dyne took the shot, but it killed her. So really, this should probably be called, it would ruin the whodunit, but it should be called, What If the Winter Soldier Killed Hope Van Dyne? Because that's the inciting incident that starts all this stuff off.
True, you're right. Perhaps Scott Lang in this universe doesn't get the Ant-Man costume, right? And therefore doesn't fight alongside the Avengers, but more importantly, doesn't even meet Hank Pym, and so therefore doesn't save his wife, and therefore doesn't stop Thanos.
Oh no, there's a whole lot of what ifs, especially if you take Tony Stark out of the equation.
You're right.
Like all kinds of stuff starts like, whoa, okay, this world is screwed in a lot of different ways.
Spider-Man still fights in his onesie, it's like
right. So we see, Hank is wearing the yellow jacket. It shows you, at least, as you say, because the writers wanted it to, but the power of a villainous Ant-Man.
Yes.
They can be a highly efficient assassin.
Yes.
So it kind of reminds me a little bit of my buddy Jason back when we would play Dungeons and Dragons. He typically played mages and clerics, and he'd find a way to warp a seemingly innocuous spell power into like a killing machine. So much like the idea of, oh look, you can shrink and grow at will. That's nice. I'll use it to destroy your internal organs. He would do. For him, it was create water. The first level spell. It's like, oh look, you get potable water in a desert. You can. He's like, what if I created inside someone's lungs? I'm like, oh, okay. And apparently he wasn't the only guy who did that because the book actually had a note, you cannot create water in living things. But I thought to myself, like, that's kind of a BS rule. I mean, how does the water know? So I let him do it. I was like, all right, you know what? You can creatively destroy people from, drown them from the inside. So yes, that's... Hank Pym is the Dungeons and Dragons player who plays the mage. So we also do have proof now that all three of these episodes, probably all three of the episodes, are in different realities. Mainly because of that last shot with Nick Fury, the ice off of Captain America's thing.
Sure.
So we see...
It's not a Union Jack, and besides that, she wasn't frozen in ice.
And Hawkeye was alive in the Captain Carter version, because he's there to greet her when she comes back.
Oh, you're right.
Well,
we don't know when that occurs, right?
Well, except that's her version of coming back to the present.
Oh, you're right.
From the past. It's like, hey, I'm back, everybody.
That's one of the interesting things about this is when it occurs, which is, I don't know that I completely appreciated that. There was this week of Iron Man 2 and Incredible Hulk and Thor. I didn't realize that.
I guess I didn't either. So, yeah, they were like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. The fact, as you say, that there's not the Union Jack shield and Hawkeye's dead and it's frozen means that this reality is a different reality than the Captain Carter one.
Yes, definitely.
So that's it, because I wasn't sure of that until this moment. So, okay, these are in different realities. So if there's a plot line where these things are going to coalesce, it's going to have to be pick somebody from this reality, pick somebody from that reality, bring them together. Oh, Paul, something I'm sure you enjoyed. Fury and Coulson talking about the newly arrived Asgard army. We get this exchange. Do they look like they're from Earth? Maybe Middle Earth? Oh, yeah. Coulson, baby! That's right, because everything comes back to Lord of the Rings. Paul, it's never too late. Join us. Join us. It's all connected. All right, anyway. Yeah, Middle Earth reference right there in your
never.
Also, another little haha was Coulson's password, which is Steve, Heart Steve, 0704, which July 4th, Steve Rogers' birthday. Because he's born on the 4th of July, but not Tom Cruise. Also, I liked Fury's callback, another kind of little sardonically comic moment when... So he did it at the very beginning of the episode. He's like, there was an idea. Then he's standing over the bodies of Hawkeye and Thor. He's like, there was an idea. I was like, oh. I was like, yeah, nice. That was pretty good. He also does say, expect the best, but prepare for the worst.
Yes.
Which, does mean he's got this backup plan. He's already put it into motion. He's got the two captains. And we do know that the next episode features Doctor Strange. Now, we don't know that this episode continues on, as you just mentioned. Is this a narrative that continues on? Maybe it is, maybe it isn't.
Unaddressed is the fact that Loki now is just telling the United Nations that he's taking over. So he does like bloodless coup, basically, where he just shows up. I guess from that means we don't have probably the attack on New York now because we don't need it. Yeah, perhaps not.
His whole deal with Thanos was, hey, I'll get you these stones, but I get power over Midgard, over Earth. Well, he's got it now. He's like,
then it's just determining, I guess, how it was known that it was on Earth. Was Thanos aware of it, independent of Loki? And I would guess he is.
Well, this is perhaps my main little nitpick about this episode.
Oh, really?
You could rationalize it, but you kind of have to assume things that the show doesn't say.
Okay.
I found it a little weird that so Hank Pym is, I'm getting revenge on Nick Fury because S.H.I.E.L.D. got my daughter killed.
Right.
So let's say he finds a piece of paper with the Avengers Initiative on it. I don't how does he know who these people are before they're even Avengers? But I'll give him that somehow he knew, they're trying to recruit Tony Stark, so I'll kill Tony Stark. Trying to recruit
him being a part of S.H.I.E.L.D. because he was, and not wanting his daughter to be a part of S.H.I.E.L.D. I mean, he has a way to be involved with S.H.I.E.L.D.
But the character that's just out of left field is Thor. Right? They even try to throw in a line where he's like, "You would have recruited him a bit," and he doesn't know anything about Thor. Thor's completely off the radar. He could be an antagonistic alien force that's going to try to kill everybody. Who knows? And then he sabotages it and kills off Thor. That part, I'm like, does he care? Does he care so much about Thor? The guy,
Yes,
I mean,
he does.
literally.
He cares.
So that my thought is, the way you would rationalize it is somehow he's got Pimtech. He knew that in the future, this is your Avengers lineup, and now I'm going to make sure that they never become Avengers. And I don't know that we saw him, time traveling or anything like that, but
We never did.
perhaps that would be a way to rationalize why he's like, I could just kill Nick Fury, but no, let me kill this guy that tangentially is related to Nick Fury.
Yeah, first, I want to see him, all his plans fail. And then I will kill him once he's the final Avenger.
So anyway, that was just a little like, okay, man, okay, boy, you are thorough.
Yes, he is.
Hank Pym. Well,
Yes,
well done, sir.
He knows exactly what's going on.
I like the fact that, again, we saw a lot of people come back to voice their characters. Not everybody, but a lot of folks. Any other thoughts you've got, good sir?
Yeah, no, my main thought was about, how killable these people were, but...
They're more fragile than we thought.
Yeah.
Even Black Widow getting killed by Ant-Man, by Yellow Jacket.
I mean...
it's believable. It's just...
It's believable, yeah.
Wow.
I mean, I feel like basically Thor is in battle with people with arrows all the time. I feel like he can get pierced by a arrow, and maybe it'll kill him, but it would take a lot. I feel like it's like, that doesn't feel good. I'll continue to fight. Okay, 40 more. Okay.
Right, he would pull to go back to Lord of the Rings, a Boromir. You got to get shot by a bunch of arrows before you go down. But yeah.
Why did I have to use the arrow? There's nothing I couldn't choose.
You're right that the manner of death seem rather easy. We're not sure how he kills Hawkeye, but he goes into his bloodstream, I guess, or maybe from the inside again.
I mean, he's just a man.
Yeah.
So,
just dude.
Yeah.
You can't kill Hawkeye. Oh, yeah, you can. Actually, it's actually pretty easy to kill Hawkeye. Just slip something in his drink, he's dead.
People were, saying who's the last person that's gonna die? Like, Iron Man, Captain America, Hawkeye. Like, you could have been like, well, put my money on Hawkeye. He's gonna be the last to die.
What if episode 3, everybody dies? And Loki takes over. So that's like that is a dystopian
yes, it is.
Earth at that moment. So anyway, we'll be back talking about What If episode 4, which promises to feature Doctor Strange. Looking forward to seeing that. So thanks, everybody. Thank you, Paul, as always.
You're welcome.
And we'll talk to you guys next time.
All right.
Bye.